Hello guys, today is the 20th of January 2022 and I was not expecting to be making a video today, and I was not expecting to be making a video on the subject of martial arts today. But, oh my god, sorry, Coach Dewey, and was the one who pushed me to do a video yet again in reply to his video. So I'll post a link to the video he made, and it's just like you just go and watch them, and then sometimes you just go like, look guys, something needs to be said, right? So the video his Coach Dewey posted, the problem with short self-defense videos, nuance matters, and in major ways it's a very good video, right, which is referring to a technique shown by some guy, I don't know, some black dude, and people like to pick on him, but actually the technique the black dude had shown is a very good technique for a self-defense situation. But obviously if you're making a short technique without the proper nuance, it's just a demonstration, and you do need to go and learn how to use those techniques properly, learn all the nuance, same as with any martial art you're doing, right? Which was a very good point by Coach Dewey. And then he goes on, but you know what? In a self-defense situation, and if somebody does this, just simply throwing the right cross is usually solves all your problems. And then a bunch of infantile dimwits go on a rampage, writing how they are. I'm a Hulk. I will get them. Right, guys, I'm a Aikidoka. All right, and I'll tell you one thing: if you train properly, there is a very good technique in Aikido. Generally, they call it as Ikkyo. Right? There's a different variations, like Coach Drew has said, right? Nuance. There's different nuances, but when trained properly, right? In my experience, it's a very good technique against a bad cross. And most of you are gonna throw a bad cross. Most of you are not top of the range fucking fighters, okay? And most of you gonna go face down on the fucking ground by a person who knows what they're doing. But there is another problem with that, alright? Is the fact that in 99.9% of a self-defense situation, reserving to a right cross is gonna get you fucking killed. You don't believe me? But let's be honest, okay? I'm a pretty big guy, right? I'm over 1 meter 80, so that's over 6 feet tall. I have a general weight of around 150 kilograms. Don't ask me how much it is in stones and whatever else. Out of that 150 kilograms, the extra weight that I have is about 25 to 30 kilograms of an extra weight, which puts me at about 115 to 120 kilograms of a reasonably well-trained person who hits the gym a couple of times a week, who's got the power, the size, and the weight over most of the people, right? And most of the people that will be able to throw a punch that would do any damage to somebody my size, because to be honest, there's plenty of people my size, and if I'm not going to be looking for trouble, they will, right? Are way smaller. So if throwing a right cross would work for Coach Dewey, would vote for guys from the Fight Bible, Brad, and whatever his sidekick is, right? It might not work, for example, for an Icy Mike, because everybody likes this. I like their videos. Like some of the stuff they do is brilliant, and then stuff like this happens, right? And what it will do is it will get people killed because it raises up the level of violence. Like if somebody is just like, oh, you've been an asshole, right? You think you're so fucking tough, right? Shit happens like this in self-defense situation, right? Somebody tipsy, you bumped into each other, they being like obnoxious, right? And you go like, hey, you know what, bro? I'm cool. Sorry about this, but if they've been a bit too nasty, okay, cool. Do the technique which is shown in the in that Nuance Matters video, right? Just kind of like say, look, bro, I'm not interested. It's a good way of ripping somebody's hand off because you basically moving the elbow while you're controlling this arm, and then you can literally just put the hand away with proper execution. It doesn't actually require that much effort. Right, you can put their hand away, push it towards them and say, hey bro, you know what, go away. Right, throwing a right cross in this situation, right, even against somebody like it was somebody my size coming up onto me, and I know a couple of things about striking, but I know for the fact that most of the time, they will just automatically flinch, put their head down, do something else. So unless I'm capable of knocking them out from the first fucking punch, is gonna get me in a situation where fist starts flying, right? Where I have much more chances of getting hurt. And to be honest, if I am in a situation where I did put in a punch, right, and this person went down, and the police came over and arrested me, and they say, well, was it the necessary level of self-defense? This is something you have to consider. This is where a lot of Aikido techniques come from, where they say, hey, dude, it's like in 99.9% of the cases, right, going all out, throwing these heavy punches, heavy strikes is not necessary. Here is a set of tools, set of techniques you can generally do to get out of this situation. Usually they say, oh, Bob, there's this big guy throwing punches at you. It's like, no. Okay, 99.9% of the situations for self-defense does not involve people coming up to you and starting throwing strikes. People getting in your face, people do say stupid shit. How many... I do apologize. How many women, if any, watch this video, will say that they have been in a situation where a guy they know or a guy they've met and they've talked for a while, but then they go like, look, you know what, just didn't click. Or the guy they know, and then she said they go out, they have a few drinks, and then they start again this conversation, but then she wants to go away and he doesn't want her to go away and simply grabs her on the hand. Right? Say, hey, don't go away. She says like, and how are you going to sort this situation out? A right fucking cross? Brilliant. Let's start a fucking fight. You're also fucking brilliant. You're such a fucking hulks. We're big, we can fight. You're imbeciles. I'm not gonna be cutting any corners here. You're imbeciles. Picking fights. The question for self-defense, a lot of times I have to ask when I watch the videos, is that, well, okay, I can do that. Great. I'm a big guy. I'm a Hulk. Most of my girlfriends are half my size. I can do that again with my girlfriend if she starts picking a fight. Just great, brilliant technique. Right cross in the face. Right? I'm fucking reasonable, right? But the question I have to ask is that, okay, I can do that shit they say to do, but can any of my girlfriends, any of my ex-girlfriends now that I had in my life, could they do the reverse? Okay, I was dating a girl that was like about, I don't know, 50 kilograms, 50, 60 kilograms. At the time when I was like about 100 kilograms. So she's half my weight, half my size, half my weight. Can she do the same? No. Right? And that's the point. I mean, I do agree. Again, let me point out, I do agree with Coach Dewey when he says that nuance matters. Like, as an Aikidoka, I have written a few times to people who did Aikido videos and saying, wait a moment, guys. Like the stuff you're showing, unless you do show that the other detail and explain how it actually works, the video you just made is full of BS. It's people trying to do this without the understanding of those little details. It's gonna get them killed. So they should really probably come over and spend time learning the nuance. And the answer was like, dude, we're just making a short video where we're demonstrating something, right? If somebody is expecting us to go in every detail rather than coming over and learning the techniques, well, nothing we can do about it, right? There's so much we can do. But so much advice that coming over from the people who saying like, oh, these traditional martial arts are not working without understanding the nuances, like Coach Dewey made his name on that. And the guys from Fight Bible. I mean, I see Mike has been known to do a few, and a few others. But the advice that comes from them is stupid. I love this nuance, actually, which many of them will talk about. Many techniques they go like, oh, against a rear naked choke. This is not gonna work, and this is not gonna work, and that is not gonna work. And you go like, why? And they say, well, if a professional Gracie wrestler gonna sink in the rear naked choke, there is nothing you can do. Well, I've rolled with not professional, but up to a black belt Gracie wrestlers. And I have to point out that once they do actually manage to sink in the rear naked choke, there isn't much I could do. 100%. True, right, brilliant. Except for the fact that I have never done Gracie wrestling in my life. I've done Aikido most of my time I've devoted to Aikido and a bunch of other martial arts, and I've sparred with a few martial arts, so including judo, including sambo, a whole lot. And I have to point out that unless I actually let them do it, unless I go like, okay, you know what, they have landed it, it's like, it seems pretty good, I'm not gonna fight it, I'm just gonna let them finish the choke so that I know how it works, how should I react to it. Unless I let them do this, they really struggle to sink it in. It's not a matter of a millisecond. It's a matter of seconds, sometimes minutes. So when they go like, oh, doing this or that, if there's a choke on you, you never get out. The problem is that, well, quite often the stuff they say is bullshit because the choke doesn't automatically lend itself. And many of the techniques which they say would not work against a professional choke would actually work while the choke is in the process of being put in. Right? Here's the nuance. And a lot of advice these guys say is just BS. But can you stop with BS? Can you guys start coming back to reality? Can you stop giving dumb-witted advice of something like just punch them in the face? Because in 99.9% of the cases, let me repeat that, punching someone in the face is not a good idea. Okay, at the very best, you're gonna end up in jail. At the very worst, you're gonna piss someone off and you're gonna end up in a coffin for no good fucking reason. Okay? Nuance matters, but let's make sure that this nuance doesn't get people killed. And for every infantile out there who thinks he's a Hulk, fine, you're a Hulk. I believe you. Okay? I believe you. I think you deserve to be whatever you think you are. Okay? But if we're gonna start talking about self-defense, let's put in the nuance. Because at the moment, just listening to the stuff people say, you get an impression that these people have ran out of some highly violent asylum, jail / that thing. Okay? Thank you very much. I hope you guys all have fun. Hopefully the lockdown's gonna finish. I'm actually having a COVID at the moment. And we all can go back to training, having fun, and let's stop being Hulks and start becoming that Dr. Whatever who turned into a Hulk. Okay? Let's use some fucking brains and not for food. And let's train and enjoy ourselves, and hopefully let's just hope that the best self-defense situation we have is when we are in a gym, on a mat, or playing chess and we have to defend against their attack. Okay? Thank you very much. Bye.